Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and a fascinating idea today from Truffle Bear involving Dutch whispers going down dead ends. You can try the puzzle if you want, read the rules carefully. I'll explain them a bit later. Now, firstly, I'm going to address that Simon did a puzzle called Tea Time yesterday. Fistamafel, genius, by the way. And his immediate thought about tea time and high tea was to do with golf, which I find extraordinary when tomorrow begins the biggest event in the only sport that breaks for lunch and tea. It's the Ashes in cricket tomorrow, England v Australia, and my household's looking forward to it. So that's going to be interesting, and hopefully England will be in control by tea. But that is another matter. Let's mention the Planet Suite, which has 5 days left to run. You can still enter it. Join us on Patreon. Somebody solved it within the first hour or something. There was some extraordinarily fast entry. I don't know how it was achieved. I was left wondering. But we have had hundreds of entries in. It is fairly accessible, although Saturnalia is quite hard and Jupiter requires some lateral thinking. By Jove requires some lateral thinking. It's a good test, and you'll enjoy it. So do check it out. Join us on Patreon if you haven't already. Always loads of other content. I think on Sunday we'll be bringing out some kids content on Patreon as well. That's the plan, and loads going on as always. So check it out, and also our apps, which are available on the links under the video. Go to the CTC app for either of our gas apps or Domino Sudoku, and there are plenty of other apps to whet your appetite for variant Sudoku, which is what we love to do on the channel. So I'm going to have a look at this dead ends puzzle. There's other links under the video. But now, the rules here. Normal Sudoku rules apply. So that's 1 to 9 in every row, column, and box. Along the thermometer, digits increase from the bulb end. Okay, we're familiar with that idea. The V between two adjacent cells indicate that the cells sum to 5. We've seen that before. The orange lines, 3 horizontal and 5 vertical, are sequences of digits with the property that successive digits must be at least 4 more or less than the previous digit. Well, it sounds like Dutch whispers so far. All sequences are to be read left to right or top to bottom as appropriate, and no two sequences are the same. Each sequence has the property that the final digit is a dead end. That is, there are no valid digits that could follow it were the line 1 cell longer. So for a 5-cell line, well, there aren't any 5-cell lines, but let's just imagine that was a 5-cell line. 28194 would be valid, as the 4 becomes a dead end because only an 8 or 9 could follow it, but 8 and 9 have already appeared on the line. So that's really interesting. 28193 would be invalid, as you could have a 7 after that. So it's a slightly complicated rule set. This is Truffle Bear's debut. Very welcome to join the club of setters who have created puzzles for Cracking the Cryptic. Truffle Bear, well done. We don't normally encourage you to come up with complicated rule sets that we have to explain, but actually this one's quite interesting, and I think that is understandable, and the puzzle has tested very well. So looking forward to having a go at this, and you feel free to try it yourself on the first link under the video. And I'm going to restart my clock and say, let's get cracking. And, well, we will get to the dead ends, I imagine, but first things first, all of these V's have to be occupied by 1, 2, 3, and 4, because to add up to 5 in 2 cells, those are the only digits you can use. I suppose we can, this is a 6-cell thermo, and as is my wont, I am going to pencil mark it with the possible candidates in each cell, just in case that tells me something either now or later. What it does tell me is we've got yet another 1, 2, 3, 4 digit in the corner of the puzzle. Might be worth colouring these blue. I'm not going to do it yet. Okay, since I'm going pencil marking, those must all be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, since this is 4 cells that contain each of 1, 2, 3, 4 in 2V arrangements. But I've put it off long enough. I'm going to have to start thinking about these dead ends. And now, maybe it's the short lines or maybe it's the long lines. I seem to remember that there is one sequence of digits that can, let me try and articulate this properly. If there was an infinite loop line of 9 different digits, there is only one way to populate that line with Dutch whispers, with this difference of 4 or more. And I think the best way to look at that is let's start just in the middle of the line somewhere with the number 4. I'm choosing 4 because it has only 2 possible neighbours, and they are 8 and 9. So we'll put 9 on one side and 8 the other side. Now I'm going to think about the number 3. And 3 has 3 possible neighbours, which are 7, 8 and 9. Well, that would lead you to think, okay, no, I'm going to think about the number 5, which has 2 possible neighbours, which are 1 and 9. Every number on a Dutch whisper line has at least 2 possible neighbours. I think that's a fact we can state. Anyway, 5 has only 2 possible neighbours, 1 and 9, so it must be next to the 9. So we put 5 there, and 5 must also be next to the 1, so the 1 goes there. This is just testing. I'm not filling in digits in this puzzle. Now we think about 3, that's it, which has neighbours of 7, 8 or 9, but 9 has got its 2 neighbours. So 3 is going to have to go here with 7 there. We've got 2 and 6 to fill in. And basically, if this line was circular, so the ends joined up together, you can see 7 can be a neighbour of 2. This would be the order, either going forwards or backwards and starting at some digit. I don't know if that helps, but it's worth just checking in my brain that there is one possible ordering of... Now on this line, this might change because we reach a dead end. I mean, we specifically get told we reach a dead end. But that dead end is actually not created by the impossibility of joining up with that, but by the digits that have gone before. I think I probably have to stop thinking about that and think about the shorter lines. Oh, which digits? Just thinking about this being a 4, which is one of the 4 possibilities. Now, how would 4 be a dead end? 4 would be a dead end if you'd already used up 8 and 9 on the line, and you could do that with... and they'd be separated because of polarity. Right. This is important. If we knew that was 4, and I don't, then I think those would have to be 9 and 8. They would have to be kept apart because they can't be together on this line by the Dutch whisper rule. And then this would be a low digit, and it wouldn't actually matter what low digit that was. The point would be that 4 would be a dead end because 9 and 8 had been used up. Now, this, on the end of a 3-cell line, and this, they are one of the digits with only 2 neighbours, and they are not just 4. And they can't be 4, because you can't put 9 and 8 before them. And the same must apply to 6. You can't put 1 and 2 before it. So this is the other digit that has only 2 neighbours. This is 5. And I suddenly see that very clearly. That's weird. It's like this moment of clarity. The reason this is 5 is because it has to be one of the few digits. Yeah, it was worth doing this line, and I don't quite remember where I set it up, but let's say it was looking like this. Oh, sorry, that would give me a 3 1/4. That is a totally undeserved party because it's totally irrelevant. Yes, the line, I think I set it up in a different position. Well, I didn't get the 3 1/4 party. But which of these numbers have only 2 possible neighbours? And the answers are 6, 5 and 4. I don't think any of the others have only 2 possible neighbours. And this one, on the end of a 3-cell line, we can't have 6 or 4 there because its 2 neighbours would have to be next to each other and would break the rule. Whereas with 5, its 2 neighbours are 1 and 9 and can be next to each other and obey the Dutch Whispers rule. So this is a 1-9 pair. This is a 1-9 pair. And now, there was a rule, by the way, that each sequence was different. Or where was that? I'm sure it was here somewhere. No 2 sequences are the same. So one of these is 195 and the other is 915. Oh, and we can in this box where we've used up 5, we can actually do polarity. This is really interesting. The last time I did a Dutch Whisper puzzle, polarity was totally unimportant because of the possibility of 5s. I think it was, in fact, Odd, after whom Dutch Whispers was named, and he'd given us a puzzle with rings. And I barely could use polarity at all, but I think in this puzzle it might be helpful. So, polarity tells us that all high and low digits alternate, and that's always true on a German whisper line. On a Dutch whisper line, it's only true if you can avoid, if you know 5's not going to be there. So these digits alternate. If this is high, then this is low. So I'm going to use green and purple. And again, they must alternate down here. If we can't get a 5 involved, then we're going between digits higher than 5 and digits lower than 5. And look, we've got all 4 purples in this box. All 4 high digits in those cells, or all 4 low. And this is low. And that must alternate, because obviously there's no 5 between those cells. So I should have marked the low digits 1, 2, 3, 4 in blue, because I didn't realise we were going to use polarity quite a lot. Right, so now green is not low, green is high. Let's make that orange. Purple has become low, so we'll make that blue. And this is going to be orange, because it's next to blue. This I can't mark, because it could be a 5. This is going to be blue. And the blues, well, that is a 1, therefore. That is a 1. These are 9s. And we've got a real start. And we've got different sequences, 915 and 195. And I now know they are the only 2 possible sequences on a 3-cell line. I think this is going to have to be 4. We can see it's not 1 now from this 1. But if that was 2 or 3, we wouldn't run out of neighbours quickly enough. 3 can have 7, 8 or 9. So my thinking there was actually right from the get-go. We can have a 4 there. This is 8. And now 9 and 8 have been used up, which is why 4 is a dead end. And this is our 2, 3 pair. We've got 2 or 3 there, 2, 3 or 4 here. And in fact, this one sees a 2, 3 pair. So that's 4. And again, it's a dead end, which is no surprise because 9 and 8 have been used up on its line. This, again, I was going to say low, but it could be 5. I don't think I really got any information about what's going on here, because 4 is a dead end by virtue of 8 and 9. So this is a 6, 7 pair. I can do that. Now, what's going on up here? We've got 3 blues in the column. These 2 are going to have the same polarity. We know there's no more 5s, because 5 in the column has been used up. These 2 are going to have the same polarity, but because of the alternation rule, but it cannot be blue, so it must be orange. They're high. This is low. Now, 1 and 9 have got to be used up on this line to make 5 a dead end. So 1 is there, which I could have worked out by looking at what blue digits have gone in this column. 9 is in one of those 2 cells, so that 5 becomes a dead end. Now, actually, I think this row is possibly the most useless row of all. As long as I probably obey that sequence that I prepared, any 9-digit sequence that you come up with obviously is a dead end, because at that point, because you've used all the possible digits. That's weird. Okay, but I do understand that now. 5, that can't be 9 or 8. Right, so what's this? I wonder if it can't be 5. It can't be 5. Okay, interesting. It can't be 5 because 1 and 9 would have to be used up on the line for 5 to be a dead end. And you can't put either of 1 or 9 there by sudoku. So 1 and 9 would have to be here. The only way you could put them together on those cells is with a 5 in between, but we're positing 5. So this isn't 5. This is high or low. Now the only way it can be low is if it's a 1, and that requires a 5 here. But I don't think it can be a 1, because how can a 1 ever be a dead end? 1 has possible neighbours of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A 4-cell line could not have used up 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 before the 1. So this is not low. This is high. This must be low now. Can't be 5 anymore because it couldn't have 2 high neighbours. This is 6 or 7. Now 7 has too many possible neighbours. 7 has 3 possible neighbours. So only 2 of them could appear before it on the line. So this is 6. And its two possible neighbours must appear before it on the line. They are 1 and 2. They have to appear at that spacing. That's a 1-2 pair. This is high. 7 or 8 specifically. This can't be 1 or 2 now. This is low and not 4. It can't be 3 because it's next to 6. So we've got a 1-2 pair in the box. This is now low. We've got a 1-2 pair in this column. That's high amongst the low digits, if you see what I mean. Oh, and that's low, and it's not 1, so we're getting some digits. 3 there. Oh, that's all we're getting. Well, this can't be 2 or 3 now. I have a feeling it's going to be a 1 in that corner. But we still have to prove that. Now, it's always the low, the short lines that are the best. So, well, we've kind of studied this one. It's going to be this one that's going to give us info. Can't end in a 5 because of sudoku. That's always useful. It must end in a digit that can have used up its 2 neighbours, because you couldn't get 3 similar neighbours up there. So this is 4 or 6. And then these are either both high or both low. And this is the alternate parity. Oh, I've got a 1 there. I hadn't seen that. Obscured by the orange line. Ah. Oh, this is giving me stuff. Hang on. Sorry. We'll do some sudoku before we approach that. That's a 1-4 pair. This has become a 3. That's a 2. This is now not a 4. What does that do for the thermo? Nothing very exciting yet. Although, I mean, I could mark these digits as high, I suppose. Ah, the 1-4 pair is absolutely essential. That makes this a 6, which is high. So green up there is low. That purple becomes orange and is, well, let's say 7, 8, 9. Now, 6 has to have used up its neighbours, its potential neighbours, which are 2 and 1. 2 there, 1 there. Now, I'm not relying on the sequence I came up with, because it might be possible that there are other sequences at the top, and I just want to be careful. However, there's got to be a low digit in this group of cells, and it's got to be 4, because 1, 2, and 3 have been used up in this box. Now, does that low digit have to be here, or could this go 1, 5, 9 low? I don't know. There's a 4 in one of those cells. That's what I do know. Now 4 has only 2 possible neighbours, which are 8 and 9. So 8 and 9 are in some of these cells, and that can't be 9 anymore. So that's a 9. This is not 8 either, because 8 and 9 are in those cells. So this is 6 or 7. And their possible neighbours are 1, 2 and 3. But this sees a 3 and a 1. So that's become a 2. And that is low. This is high. It can't be a 5. Now I don't think we can put 4 here anymore, because that would be high and would be next to a high. So 4 has become here. And that's low. And now we need to change the alternation in this space. So we need the 5 and 9 in here. So it goes 5, oops, sorry, 5, 9, high, that's 8 in fact, because 9's been used there. We've got 3, 6 and 7 to place. 3 is there, next to 7. 3 is in the corner at the top. Hooray! Losing its religion. And we've got oranges there, that's a blue. And have we done all the lines? Well, we've alternated on all the lines. We've done all the logic that the lines can give us. So now we're just filling in Sudoku and maybe a little bit of thermo to go. 9, 5, 8. Central row very helpful. That 8 makes this a 7, 4, 3. I'm going to get rid of the colouring now because it has served its purpose. We've got a 6, 7 pair to go there. That's an 8. 8, 2, 6, 1, 9. 3 and 4 are a pair here. 5 and 7 are an unresolved pair there. This becomes 6. 7 and 6 are done here by the corner. That's an 8. This is 5, 7 and 9. 2, 3, 5, 1. That's a 7, 6 pair. Ooh, that takes 7 off the end of the thermo. This 6 is impossible there. We're still not resolving this thermo completely. That's 5 or 7, so this is a 3. That's going to take more possibilities off the thermo. Now that is, no, that could still be 5, 9, 4, 3, 5, 7, 6, 2 and 8. Oh, I've got a 1 up here, sorting out 4 and 1. This can't be 6. Still, this thermo won't tell me all its secrets. Right, 2 or 4 there definitely puts 1 in the corner, which I was expecting. It's taken a much longer time to prove than I was thinking. I'm sure this is straightforward. Oh, there's only one place for 3 in this column. That's an unexpected spot. 2 and 3. That 2 hits the thermo in a way that is helpful. 5 or 6 there makes this definitely a 7, which we can run to the end of the thermo. And now we are definitely in finishing off mode. Not beast mode, because the puzzle is keeping its secrets quite well. It's got to be a 2 in this box. That has to be here. That sorts out the 8, 2 pair. 3, 8, 9, 2, 1. We need a 4 in column 1. This is 5 or 6. That's a pair. So then, oh, that has to be 9 now. This is an 8. That's a 9. This is 5 or 6. Lots of 5, 6, 7s still to resolve. This is another one of them. What's this? This can't be 9. That can't be 9. That can't be 9. That's the 9. Right, just 5, 6s and 7s now. How do these work? Oh, there's a 7 there. That's how they work. So those become 5. That's a 6. That's a 5. That sorts out 7, 5, 7, 6. This has become 6. That's a 7. 6, 7, 5, and a 7 to finish. And there we go. We have got through the dead ends. And that is a very neat puzzle. Excellent. Thank you, Truffle Bear, who described the rule set as a rubric, which is a term I haven't heard in a long time. Used to be a term used for preambles in crossword in cryptic crosswords, but some people would use the word rubric. Sometimes I used to hear that for exams. It was the opening text in an exam telling you how to go about the exam. Interesting. Anyway, I like the word rubric. I think it's something to do with red brick, in fact, in terms of its etymology. I don't know. Somebody will tell me, no doubt, in the comments if they get this far in the video. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Truffle Bear, for sending that in. Hope to see you again tomorrow. Hope England go well in the Ashes. The golf will be underway by now. Loving the summer of sport. And we'll see you tomorrow for more of the summer of Sudoku. Bye for now.